Look closely at this blocked road. To most people it's just a temporary site annoyance. But to a contract manager, this is a financial ticking time bomb, currently bleeding $25,000 a day in unrecoverable prolongation costs. If the employer fails to give you the right of access to the site on the FIDIC clause 2.1, you cannot just sit back and wait. If you do, you waive your rights entirely. Under clause 20.2.1, you have exactly 28 days from the moment this blockage started to notify the claim. Miss that deadline by a single minute and your extension of time is legally dead. Today, I'm giving you the exact step-by-step playbook how to handle this crisis. We're going to fill out the advance warning, log the data in a bulletproof claims register, and submit a flawless extension of time claim. The first thing to do in this situation is to prepare an advanced warning advice and send it to the employer and the engineer. And this is making use of subclause 8.4 advance warning. To do this, we go to the delay notices examples that we prepared, and we're going to go to section 3.2 where the standard text for the advanced warning information is. Always use standard templates because then you don't need to reinvent the wheel and the text every time and again. Now we have made it, we put it into an email, and we have described in the email that the access to the site has been restricted as per a certain date, and that may lead to a critical delay under the contract, which we then, if it happens, we have to send a claim. As you can see, we have put it into an email. We have attached the picture that we have taken on site, and we have given an explanation of the situation. So just don't write only the road is blocked. Make good reference to the schedule activities, to the situation, and attach the evidence that you have collected. Now, the moment we hit the send button, this email will just not be lost in an inbox, because by explicitly invoking clause 8.4, you contractually compel the engineer to actually do something. Now let's see what happens next. This triggers the management meeting. The biggest mistake you can make is letting a delay sit in writing without a verbal meeting. The advance warning forces this roadblock onto the agenda of the next weekly progress meeting. Now, the employer is legally cornered. They have to actively discuss mitigation strategies with you or accept that the financial clock is officially running. Now, let's recap the timeline and see how and when we need to submit the notice of claim situation. So as you can see, the scheduled date for the access was on the 10th. What we have done on the 3rd of August, on the Monday, we did the site walk and we had a potential delay observation because the access road wasn't ready. As a result, we sent an advanced warning by email in accordance with our obligation under subclause 8.4. And we described the situation with the access road, and this way we put it on the agenda for the next week's meeting. So then on Wednesday, we had the weekly progress meeting and we discussed this potential delay situation under point 1. And the engineer stated that the employer's early works subcontractor has some problems with its construction equipment and material supply. and mitigation measures are being implemented in order to complete the access road on time. But the engineer didn't give an instruction or anything else. So we're just gonna wait and see. And then we did on Friday, we did another site walk to see what is happening. And the equipment is removed, but the access road is still not there. So we did another check on Friday. This is a whole week, and here it has to be ready. So there's a big chance that the delay is gonna happen in real time. So now it's Monday. We did another quick check to see if during the weekend the road was completed, and it wasn't. Let's check the contract to see what we have to do, because now the delay has actually occurred. What's very important with a claim notice is that you're probably pretty sure that you are entitled to a claim. So in 8.5 you got an extension of time entitlement, which for this case is applicable. It's for a extension of time which is or will be delayed. And in our case, this will be for point E, any delay, impediment or prevention caused by the employer in this particular case. So we have an entitlement for an extension of time, and under 2.1 we can also claim for the cost. So now we have to move to subclause 22.1, which is the notice of claim. And how we do that, we have to give a notice. So we must give a notice, and it must be no later than 28 days. This is very important. If you miss this deadline, which basically says here, if you fail to provide within these 28 days, basically you are not entitled to any payment or EOT. So it's very important that you fill in the notice. So we're going to fill in the notice now and see how to do that correctly. I like to use notification forms because it gives a consistent administration. As you can see at the top, we have filled in all the standard particulars of the project and the parties, the date, the numbers, that we filled in a title, and now we have to give the reasons, description, and the rest of the form. So what's most important is obviously to work with cause, effect type of situations and explanations. So in this case, according to the agreed program, the employer must provide access to the site on 10th of August in accordance with 2.1. However, the employer has not provided this access in time because the access road is not ready for use. The access to site is part of the critical path. For an EOT claim, you have to state this. Next, we have to fill in the description of the claim, which I choose to do like the effect. Well, due to this missing road and access to site, the contractor will suffer delay and incur additional cost. That's the simplest as it gets. And then you move on to just already in the notice, clearly state that you are entitled, and you make a reference to the subclauses that are applicable, and that you also have reported this and followed the advanced warning, and that you have discussed it. So everything that you have done is shortly described in the notice. Now there is a special note that I would like to recommend you put in, because you have to submit after this notice the fully detailed claim within 42 days from the event, so that is from the 3rd. Since you don't know maybe all the costs, it is always a wise choice to declare that the claim that you are going to submit has a continuing effect under 20.2.6. This way you get more than 42 days to prepare the actual claim. The box about the reference documents is about substantiation. Substantiation is where you have to list everything that is applicable. So in our case here, we have the advance warning, the minutes of meeting. Obviously, the contract has a program, and we made some photographs. Also, you could put in a drawing of the temporary site plan, but this is very important to put it in here. Now we almost completed it. The boxes that are not applicable, we just put it in. You can put in an estimated amount for the claim that you expect, so the employer engineers see a bit what the impact may be in monetary value. Also, the same applies for estimating the time. In this case, you don't know, but let's say 30 days for this example. And after, so we put that in. After that, you have to put in the signed electronic signatures. Normally, that's allowed for this moment after you checked it. So the form is now ready. In full compliance, you got a cause, you got an effect, you got an entitlement, and you provided substantiation. That's all you need to do to make a proper claim notification. So when it's ready, you can send it to the engineer. So to recap, on the 11th, we have sent the claim, so we're well within the 28 days for it not to fail on the grounds of missing the period. The only thing that we need to do now is to make sure we log the claim notice properly in the claim register. You can make a spreadsheet or have a system, but this is just an example. So you put in a date. I like to put in what type. Preferably you don't send an email. That you should not do. Short title, not long stories. I got 4 types here. In this case we have cost and time impact. I calculated the due date in accordance with the contract for the fully detailed claim, which is 42. Here there's a status. In this case we have issued a new notification. It's also recommended to link up the file or include the file so you can pull it up as well. And if you have any notes, additional notes, you write them in here. Now it's already Wednesday, and we have the other progress meeting. So again, I suggest you discuss the claim and the status and ask when the road is ready, because then you can update your fully detailed claim. As we said before, the fully detailed claim is for 22nd of September, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks away, which is reasonable time for the employer to provide the road. So the advice is keep a good eye on it and follow up with a fully detailed claim. The fully detailed claim and how to submit that we will explain in another video. Thanks for watching. please subscribe and like and share the video, and see you next time.